Hello everyone, it is the Magic Jellybean, the one and only Magic Jellybean that you'll ever witness in this lifetime. I've got a special video today. For one, guys, I apologize, it's been like 4-ish weeks since I have uploaded. It's for a good reason though, and it's something that I'm going to cover in this video. And I want to talk simply today about my experience in the IT field. So for those who are interested, before this video gets started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff you do, because you know only the cool kids do it here on this channel. Anyways, so, what have I been doing these past 4 weeks? Well, I've been studying and studying and studying for my IT exams. I've been studying for my IT exams, specifically the CompTIA A+. And what's been happening is, these exams, they take a lot of preparation. They're designed for people that have 6 months to a year in the IT field. But, realistically, usually people with no experience take these exams. And that's just the truth, right? That's just the truth. So the CompTIA exams are designed to test individuals with experience in the field and with knowledge on the subject. So, 3 tests later, I failed the first part of the A+. It's a 2-part test. I failed the first part 3 times. I passed it on the 3rd time. I'm sorry, I failed it twice. I passed on the 3rd time. The second part of the test, I passed first try. And that was, over the course of 2 weeks, right? And I'm doing this because, I have a lot of general PC knowledge. I built my own PCs. I built, 3 PCs now. And I just generally enjoy working in the technological sector. So, I apply for some jobs, like anybody does. You get certified, you're happy, you apply for some jobs. So I'm not going to name the company, not because, for any legal reasons, just because I believe there's no need for it. Just know it's a healthcare company. And so, in this healthcare company, I just want to tell you what happens, okay? I worked there for 1 day, and they let me go. But this is the crazy thing, because, I don't want to make this a commentary about what it's like to be a black person, but I need to talk about the position of a black person. So, I get hired, right? The guy from the healthcare, the IT manager, he contacts me on LinkedIn, he adds me, and I message him, and I'm like, hey bro, I got a LinkedIn, I'm only using it because I know it's the industry standard, but, I'm not too big on making my profile look pretty. To me, that's just, I just tell them, like, to me, that's just a little bit superficial. So I apologize, if this is politically incorrect to message you, but I see that you're from the company that I just hired at. I just wanted to make your acquaintance. If there's any questions I can ask for you, I can answer for you in advance. I'd love to answer them. And the IT manager responded, he said, oh, that's great. He was just interested in my application because I took a lot of time to answer questions that people normally don't answer. So, hold on. So, I go in for the interview process on Friday. No. I go in on Thursday. Alright? On a Thursday. And I go in the interview, and they immediately like me. They love me. Because, they're all about giving people entry-level experience. So they don't mind hiring people with no experience. Even though, I am familiar with this stuff, I'm technically inexperienced in the IT environment because I've never worked there before. I've worked at data entry and stuff, but I've never worked in the IT field specifically. So, long story short, they love me. They said I'm very personable. Most people that they hire are usually they try to be too techie and try to impress them. And they were just drawn by the fact that, I'm just a funny, look, be honest guys, I'm funny. I'm funny. This channel is funny. Generally speaking, I'm comedical. I'm not comedical to the point where it's overbearing, but, I have a sense of humor. And I understand that having a sense of humor is important. So, they're like, we want to hire you immediately. Can you please come in on Friday? And of course, I was unemployed because of COVID, so I was fine with this. So what happened was I came in on Friday, right? And because this is a healthcare place, they have a lot of paperwork. And when I say a lot of paperwork, I mean a ton of paperwork. They said that typically applicants take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete this paperwork. And it's like, it's three stacks of paper, literally this thick, if you could see it. And one of them is a questionnaire. It's about policies. It's about policies. And I went through and I answered everything. So, long story short, you know, I told them, I handed the packet to the HR manager. I said, here you go. You know, I actually took the time to read through all the policies. I took the time to read through all the policies and, you know, answer the questions. And I looked through the handbook. You know, they're like, oh, that's awesome, because, you know, most people, they hand the handbook back to us because they think it's, you know, they don't think they have to read it. They think they can, you know, they think it's just for us. And so they're like, HR says, you know, we really appreciate the fact that you actually went through. And I told them, you know, this is a serious job. I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing and I know what the do's and don'ts are. So I turn in, it took me about 2 hours to do all that paperwork, right? So from 8:30, I got there at 8:30. From 8:30 to about 10 o'clock, I'd say I was filling out paperwork and, you know, filling out all their forms and stuff. And so now comes time for the work, because they want to see what I can do. Obviously, they want to see me perform. So check this. Pretty much two things that happened were, one of the guys that was trading me, he goofed up, right? He went in the server room and he shut down the entire network by accident. He inputted a setting and he accidentally shut down the entire network for that building. Not company-wide, just for that building. Keep in mind, we're working at the corporate headquarters here. We are not just at any location. This is corporate headquarters. And so basically, from like 1 o'clock, because he shut the network down, they gave me a tour of the top executive floor. So when my tour was done at about 1:30, I got back, and then that's when I found out, you know, this network was a disaster. So I really didn't have anything to do, to be honest. Like, I didn't have my credentials yet. You know, I don't have the network logins. I don't know what their setup is. You know, I've never been to the server room. And plus, you know, my job is an entry-level role. This is something that's more suited for, like, level 2 or the manager himself. So what happened was, they had, another thing that happened was, they got 300 tablets from Verizon. Verizon sent them 300 tablets. And some doo-doo brain decided to activate all the tablets on their Wi-Fi, on their network, I'm sorry, whether it be over Wi-Fi or over LAN. And if you guys know anything about networks, is that you only, you know, a router is kind of like an apartment complex. You can only have so many tenants before you run out of space. So after they signed up all 300 of those tablets, they had no more IP addresses to give out. So the IT manager had to go in, and basically between these two errors, it was like a 2.5 hour process of them getting the network back up. When they did, I had my login for their domain, right? So I had my domain credentials and everything. I logged in. I proactively logged in. I set up my Outlook accounts. They didn't even have to ask me to do that, right? I actually had that stuff already open because I'm like, let me just do this, you know, now that I'm here. And so I set up all my, you know, I proactively set up all my accounts and every tool that I needed. And, you know, I was very quiet that day. They explained a lot of stuff to me. But even though I knew, like, most of the stuff they were explaining to me, I still, you know, I kept my mouth shut. Because I'm like, okay, you know, they want to teach me, I'll let them teach me. You know, if they have a way of doing things, I'll just do it their way. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know it all. I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to stay humble. You know, I don't want to start spouting out stuff like, oh, I know what I'm doing and whatever. So I proactively set up all my accounts. By this point, it's, y'all, it's like 3:30. It's 3:30, okay? Got my email ready, got my direct deposits, got all my accounts up. It's 3:30. So there's an application most IT people are probably familiar with called Zendesk. This is a help desk support job. So you know, you got to be familiar with the ticket system. I used to work at this company called Benchmark Games. Benchmark Games makes a lot of games for Chuck E. Cheese's, for Dave & Buster's. Think arcade machines. Anything that has to do with arcade machines. Benchmark Games is like the Walmart of the video game arcade industry. So, you know, Benchmark has a help desk system. It's not Zendesk, but it, you know, it feels right at home. You know, I'm still helping people over the phone. I'm troubleshooting machines, but instead of troubleshooting on video games, I'm troubleshooting actual computers. So, I feel right at home. And I did about 3 tickets with a little bit of oversight because, obviously I'm not used to their systems. I don't know where things go. But, I can figure this stuff out for myself. And again, they were giving me a lot of teaching that I didn't necessarily ask for, but I stayed quiet just so I could let them teach me, okay? And there was another new guy there. He was there. He was hired 3 days before me. This new guy, this is important, okay? This new guy did not do a single ticket that day. I'm the new guy, and I did 3 tickets that day, okay? With minimal oversight. He was just putting stickers on laptops the whole time, all right? So I actually did work, and I felt good. At the end of the day, they came up to me, and they said, how do you feel? And I said, you know what? I feel right at home. Because at Benchmark, and I told them this in my interview, I said, at Benchmark, the person that was supposed to train me, he left on the 2nd day. And I've never worked on video game machines before. So I had, for the next week, I figured out everything for myself, and I became more proficient. And my employer said that I became more proficient at my job than that person did. So I already surpassed them, and I hadn't even plateaued. I just became more proficient than them. I was more efficient. I got stuff done quicker. I got better numbers. So I told them, this feels good because I feel better knowing that the person that's training me, even if they do quit, I'll have more people to train me because this is, it's a bigger operation compared to Benchmark where it was only like 6 of us, in customer service. And really it's, only like one other person could help me and they were always busy. So I told them I felt good. It's 5 o'clock. I unpacked some boxes, did some stuff they needed me to do before I left. And that was it, guys. That was my whole day. So I spent 2 hours on paperwork. I got an hour tour of the executive office. When I came downstairs, there was a network disaster, right? It was an absolute disaster. And for about an hour and a half after lunch, I did 3 tickets in the system. And that's just about all I could do. Because, the day ran out. So they give me a call, right? They give me a call, and 20 minutes on my way to get home, they said, hey, this is not going to work out. And I said, what do you mean? And I said, they said, just the that we saw at the interview was not the Desmond that we got today. And, after talking amongst our peers, which is what the IT manager said, so basically he talked among the other IT people, he said that we just, we found that the qualities we were looking for in you were lacking. So, we're going to let you go, man. And I said, okay. I said, can you please explain to me and elaborate, what it is that you don't see in me? Because, even though I know that I did work, I need to understand this information for the next time I do a job interview. So the IT manager shrugs. He's like, and he hangs the phone up. He doesn't even say bye, no salutations. He hangs the phone up right on my face. And he didn't bother to explain anything. In my opinion, that was very unprofessional. Now, I'm telling you this because, and as I said in the beginning of the video, I don't want to sit here and play the racial card. But, listen, out of the entire floor, on that corporate floor, there were only 2 black workers. They were both female, okay? In the IT team, there was not a single black worker. There were 8 of us. Every single one was Caucasian. Okay? They might have had Hispanic descent, but literally, they all look like they were on the episode of Friends. They all just look like straight Caucasians, okay? I'm not saying they were. All I'm saying is that is what their skin color reminded me of, is Caucasians. And they mainly were. You could tell just, based on their dialect, based on how they speak, their inflection, their accent. You can tell they're just American. That's all I'm saying, guys, is that I'm the only new guy that did work. Yet, I'm the one that doesn't have a work ethic. That's what they told me. They said, we're going to let you go because we believe that you have a lack of work ethic. And I said, okay, hold on. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm the only... HR literally confessed that I'm the only person that has ever taken time to read through that disgustingly long handbook, okay? On top of that, somebody else messed the network up and basically shut down not only my job function, but every single job function in that building. Accounting, HR, corporate, executives. Nobody could get their jobs done. Alright? And you know what happened? You know what happened after he finished? After they finished, they didn't even give him a slap on the wrist. Everybody came in the office, and they were literally all laughing like it was okay. Alright? On top of this, I proactively set up, this is 3 things now. I proactively set up all my email accounts, right? And number 4, I'm the only new guy that actually did my job, which was help desk. So please, elaborate to me, and this is what I was trying to say on the phone. Please elaborate to me what it is exactly that makes you think I don't have a work ethic. Was it because you felt like you had to babysit me all day, even though I didn't ask you guys I needed help? They just kind of always came over and made sure they helped me. And I'm like, look, in my mind, I'm like, I appreciate this, but I didn't need it. But, I'll stay quiet and I'll let you help me. If you feel the desire to help me, I don't want to shut that down. I don't want to be rude and say, you know what, man, I got this. Instead, I want to at least let you feel like you're helpful. I want you to feel like you're an effective manager for me, because we need to have a good relationship as a manager and employee, or as a trainer employee. So guys, that's basically what happened, right? And look, I'm not throwing any racial cards. All I'm saying was that I'm a black man that was let go day 1 because I didn't have a work ethic, because I did my job. That's all I'm saying, okay? So I'm going to end the video right here. You can discuss it in the comments. I've been studying for my CompTIA A+. I passed it. I've been studying for my Security Plus. At this point in time, I've actually completed my studies, so I just need to go take some practice exams. And guys, I'm not going to let this hold me down. I'm not going to let this affect me. But I just wanted to share my story, because this hurt. Like, it hurt. Because I'm the type of person where I think to myself, like, what can I do better? What is it that I did wrong? And it's just for somebody to hang up and to not explain anything to you. It's like, for me, it's like you really didn't think I was even good enough for you to take, a minute out of your time to tell me why I was ineffective. And if you were in the environment that I was in, guys, it hurt for a while. And so, I didn't want to make videos. I just needed to process it. But so, I'm done with that. I'm done with this processing phase. I'm done with thinking that I can't do something, because I'm going to study for my Security Plus. I'm going to pass it. I'm going to develop my own practices. Guys, this is not the end for me. And this is not the end for black men in America, okay? For even Hispanics, for any minorities. This is not the end. Because I just believe that, one day we're going to live in a world where this is not an issue. One day we're going to live in a world where you don't get fired because you don't fit into somebody's clique. And that's all I believe. So guys, discuss it amongst yourself in the comments. If you have anything you want to say, even if it's negative, just put it in the comments. If you want to voice how you feel, or if you have an opinion, that's what the comment section is for. Thank you for making it to the end. I am the Magic Jellybean, your host. It's only going to get better for here, I promise. And I will return with more videos. I just needed time to recover. And I also needed time to study for my Security Plus. Because boy, that was a study session all in its own. So, guys, until the next time, have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.